Tax Minute points on how to stay out of tax trouble. Today's topic is using IRS audit guides. And this segment is targeted to people that either are investors, particularly real estate investors, but also other types of business investors, and particularly also small business owners. And so before I get into the topic, let me just make a preliminary statement. It is never a good idea to base your business planning on the tax outcome. Yes, tax considerations ought to be on your list of considerations for business planning, but they certainly should not be on the top 5 or top 10 things. And unfortunately, today's segment is triggered by a young investor who put tax planning at the top of the list of his real estate strategy and may well, in my quick estimation, wind up with a negative return of investment, being overly concerned about paying taxes and not so concerned on the other obvious issues. And so I'm sure we'll get into that issue in another time. It's our human nature to tend to avoid paying taxes more than it is to look at the pluses and minuses of the business opportunity. Again, that's another topic for another day. But let's get into the audit guide. So if you are a real estate investor or if you run a business in a certain industry, you ought to be aware of whether the IRS has an audit manual for your profession. And if they do, you should read it. Really, that's the post. That's the message today. They are well written. They are incredibly clear, and they are worth 1,000 times more than all of the banter that we spend hours and hours scrolling through on social media or online. So, in particular, there is one that came up in this example. I mentioned a real estate investor. There is one specifically meant for real estate investors. And it's long. It's not easy reading. But if you're going to spend the time, obviously your two choices are really to rely on a professional or read the manual or continue to watch TikTok videos, I guess, is a third option, which won't turn out very well. So my suggestion is there's I think last call there were 40 some different IRS audit technique guides published and available online. And if one pertains to you, you should either read it or at least have a conversation about it. All right, that's all I have today. Welcome any feedback, questions, comments. I'm easy to reach on social media and also at taxproblems.cpa website. And I'll be back tomorrow with another Tax Minute.